Well, hey everybody out there in Bombardier Land. Happy Saturday morning and welcome to another episode of Saturday Morning Cereal. I'm going to have to I got to put my glasses back on so I can see the chat. So, it looks like James jumped in. Hey, look at that everybody. Some of our regulars are back joining with us this morning. It's good to see you guys. I'm glad you are up and at 'em on this Saturday. We are working on some stuff here in the studio. Vicky's over here at the painting station, so she's getting some more painting done on Major Tom. Are you guys already started on your Saturday projects today, or have you got anything lined up for later this afternoon, or what's going on with that?
Morning.
So, I've already had my Saturday morning cereal. The actual cereal, not the serialized. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's what is it? Granola and yogurt, kind of thing. Trying to do that sort of thing. So, throw a little almonds in there, and the cats, had their food, and so we did all that stuff. Got all that going this morning, but now we've got a bunch of stuff that we want to show. Let's see. Brandon says he joined an Infinity Escalation League, so he's got models to prep. Okay, that's super cool.
Cool.
Hey, are those the are they new Infinity models? Is it the new Seacast plastic stuff, or is it like the metal stuff? James says he's going to do some cleaning and rearranging.
I think
Heather's in.
Heather?
Yeah, she's in. Hey,
Heather. And let's see.
Okay, cool. So Brandon's miniatures are metal. So yeah, those are cool. I'm kind of curious as to how their Seacast stuff comes out. I mean, I've seen the YouTube videos and everything, so they look really cool. But
okay.
I'm looking forward to seeing what the plastic stuff looks like.
Yep.
Or getting something in hand. There's a couple of little character models out there I'd like to try to grab, but. That's a little ways down the line. And we're going to talk a little bit about Seacast later in the show. We've got a big show for you today. We've got lots of updates on stuff. Vicky's been working hard on the Counterblast for Savage World stuff this week. And I've been working on some new sculpts and everything. We're going to preview that stuff for you guys. So if you're joining us late into the show, you can always... catch us on YouTube. I'll post it probably tomorrow. It's for some reason it has to process the video and it takes a while for it to do that. So usually I'll do that this afternoon and then we'll upload the episode tomorrow. So if you've if you get in late and you miss some stuff and you want to catch up on it, you can always head over to our YouTube channel and catch us there and see what we've been showing. I guess we'll start off talking about what we've gotten done on the Kickstarter project this week. Actually, before I get to that, I do want to tell you guys that today's the 30th, April the 30th.
Yep. This
is our 8th episode, so we've been doing this for that long now, so that's pretty cool. But as of I guess this is. I'm not looking at the calendar. I keep looking around because I can't see the calendar.
Oh, okay.
But this is.
What you trying to find?
But 30th is the last day of April.
Right.
Right. Okay. So today is the last day of our spring cleaning offer that we have in the web store. Okay. So and we've had a few takers on this.
Yeah.
In the last week, and so. If you hop over to the web store, today is the last day to get 20% off of anything in the web store that includes STL files and resin stuff and metal stuff, all of that. Just put this little code, spring, SPRNG, all caps, 2022, and that'll give you 20% off of your order. And also keep in mind that all orders that are over $50 or $50 or more, you're going to get free shipping domestically in the U.S., right?
Yeah.
Okay. And so if you order in the U.S. and you get over $50, you're going to get your shipping for free. So that's a cool thing. And was there anything else? I think coming up soon we've got the Free Babes thing that we're working on.
Well, yeah, we're working on the there's like a selection of 20 that you can pick from if you want, or if you don't pick one, we'll just select one at random for you. But I think we've got 20 babes and 10 sidekicks.
10 different sidekicks that you can pick.
So I think it's like if you buy, it's going to be like if you buy $25 or more, you get, I fell excuse me.
Bless you.
Sorry, I could feel the sneeze coming on.
Yay for pollen.
Yeah. But anyway, you get you can pick a free sidekick, or we'll include one at random. And if you get $50 or more, you get to choose a free babe as well. And you also, you still get the sidekick too. So, so we're gonna kind of be running that promotion next month, and once we kind of
now is it
get that kind of worked out.
Now if you get the sidekick, it's like, well, if you get, what is it, $25, $30?
I think it's 25.
Okay, so like if I buy $25 worth of stuff and
Right.
I can pick out a free sidekick,
Right.
but then I'm like, oh, well, there's some more stuff I want. So then if I get $50,
You get
I get this? I get the sidekick and the babe, is what it is?
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Yeah, okay, well that's...
Are you still asleep? You need your coffee or something?
Yeah, I haven't had any coffee today. So...
You had granola, but you didn't have any coffee.
Yeah, and I didn't even make it through the episode of Discovery that we were watching last night either, so I had to go back
you
and
keep
pick
falling
that up.
asleep, and you're holding me back, man. I
know.
can't keep going forward.
Yeah, I know.
It's like you're holding up the show.
Holding up the show.
Well, that's right, literally.
Okay, so that's what we've got going on. So if you guys want to jump in and get that little thing or whatever, today's the final day on that. So I mean, if you're watching it on YouTube on Sunday, then you've missed it. So it's sorry.
Yeah, because I think the code ends at midnight tonight or something.
Yeah.
Yep. So, let's see. Such a good show. Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Oh, hey, we've got a new chatter in here.
Oh, hey, welcome.
Welcome. Thanks for jumping in. Yeah, actually, we make miniatures. Otaku, is that correct? Am I pronouncing that? Because I'm hoping that's right. Yeah, tell me if I'm close. But yeah, thanks for jumping in with us. We make miniatures for tabletop games. So if you're like a wargamer, or if you play D&D or any of it, like tabletop gamings and stuff, then we make miniature figures for that. So I sculpt those, in ZBrush, and we're going to show some previews and stuff a little bit later in the show. And
we also have a few larger things like 75 millimeter and busts and stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the little critterkin that you're painting on over there is a little bit larger than...
He's 54 mils.
Oh, okay.
So he's 54 mil from the bottom of his feet to the top of his helmet.
Okay, yeah.
So, yeah.
So, well, that's cool. Yeah, Otaku says they play tabletop role-playing games. So that's
yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. There's all kinds of stuff we have for that.
Right. Yeah. So if you get a chance, go by and check out the web store and see all the different kinds of things that we make. We've got some chibi things over there and some critterkins.
We also have like little sidekick line that's great for like various animal companions and robots and all kinds of little stuff.
Yeah, so if you're playing Pathfinder and you have an animal companion, if you're like a druid character or whatever, we've got some little animal characters and stuff like for that too. So, let's see. Next week we're going to talk about
the project.
we talk about updating the Kickstarter project.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of stuff that we got done this week. And I've got some pictures of that, so we'll pop over to this. So
show them pictures.
Yes, pictures of the Scout Ship project. There's just one, I think, that got done. Okay, because what we did...
That's just picture.
Right.
There's no zzz on the end of that. If
Right.
there's just one, come on.
So, yeah, exactly. So, okay, so last week on the show, we showed, or last week or some of the previous episodes, we showed some of the add-ons that we had for the Scout Ship Kickstarter kit. And... let's see, we had gotten up to, we had sent out the Gentbot set. Okay, so there's a set of 3 robots, and they're all modular parts, so you can kind of mix and match how they go together. So, like, all of the orders that had included everything up to that point, we shipped those out so far. All the stuff with the Gentbots in it, right?
Right.
Okay. So then this week, we...
Unless they also got a Lonnie Tail Drive thing, which is the set that we're getting ready to send out now.
Right, yeah, that's what I'm showing them now.
Or
okay.
the War Rocket.
Yeah, okay, and we'll get to that. Okay, but
yeah.
But the thing that we were working on this week was getting the molds finished and getting the castings and stuff done for the Alani tail drive, the Alani drives, which are alternate drives, and the tail gunner section on the ship kit. Okay, so you can see there's like the fins and stuff on the ship. That you can swap those out, and that's going to give you. There's the robots again. Okay, so we sent those out, but these are alternate drives, and then the top tail fin that goes on the back section of the ship. So these are extras that you can get and switch them out. And then this is the back end of the ship where it's got the tail gunner section, so you can swap out the back end of the ship since it replaces the engine mount that comes on the core ship kit. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we got that done, and these are the actual production castings, okay, of the pieces.
Oh, and I want to say that I don't know if you can go back to that where it shows the tail cap piece.
Right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that the other side of that, you guys, has got all kind. It's really cool because it's got all kinds of controls and stuff, and that's where the seat part for the gunner attaches is on, of course on that side, because he wants to be, or she wants to be inside the ship, so.
Yeah, right.
But it's really cool. I don't guess we've got a picture of that side of it, but it's got all kinds of neat detail and stuff on it too, so.
Yeah, I had some pictures. We showed that in the previous episode where we had shown the 3D prints before they had gone to mold. Okay. So we've gotten up to this point to where it's like we're actually casting these parts now, and I've got to run off like 9 of those. I think there were 9 orders that had this in this batch of stuff, and then
I think we're up to 3 right now.
Yeah, we've got 3 done, and then I'll be running some more so that we can kind of wrap the rest of these up this week. Plus, we have like all of the core ship kits, and then the add-on modules and all of the other, stretch goal items and everything that went with that. Well, that all has to be cast and stuff too to go with these. But this is the latest thing. This was actually the last thing. So this is the last add-on item that is supposed to go with the Kickstarter project. Okay, and so then once we get all of these cast, packaged, and shipped out, then I'll start on the digital engineering part for the War Rocket. So I would want to go in and make sure that all those modular parts fit, and then we'll start printing and casting those pieces.
Those are going to be some big boxes.
Mm-hmm. Yep, shipping all that stuff out because we had some people that backed it and got the core ship kit and the War Rocket and like 2 ships and like a bunch of the extension module parts and all of that sort of thing. So.
It's insane the amount of stuff. So we're getting there. I'm really excited because we should be sending out this batch this coming week and getting that sent off, and then we'll be down to the stack of orders that where they wanted War Rockets, and I think that's like 20 or so. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we'll have about 20-something. Yeah.
So we're going to split those up into 2 batches to make that a little more manageable to cast. Mm-hmm. And then that should be pretty much wrap up the project.
Right. And then once we get those backer orders fulfilled and get the everybody that's turned in their orders, from the pledge manager thing, then we'll be able to take all of these. We'll have extra castings and stuff done, and we'll put those in the web store. So if you guys missed the Kickstarter project and you want to get
or there's
ship
some
kit,
or you back the project and there's some other things that
you
didn't get at that time that you want to get now.
Right. Say there's some add-ons or whatever, then it's like, well, you can just go through the web store and just buy those.
Because that Galley Rec set is awesome.
I'm sorry. The Galley Rec Center set is really cool, and I'm looking forward to painting up the little TV and the things that go in there. So
that's fun.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to kind of getting some of that stuff going. But look, I mean, if you're playing, well, there's a lot of stuff that the Scout Ship kit would be useful for, because it's you can open up the top of it and put figures inside of it and run them around and everything. So it's really useful for stuff that if you're playing Stargrave or if you're playing Starfinder, even as a role playing game, you can, that could be your cruise ship that they fly around in. So, and let's see, what is it? 5 parsecs from home. You could use it for great scenery for, stuff like that. So
there's just a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. So, and it's cool because it's got that retro kind of sci-fi feel that we kind of specialize in. So that's where we are in this. We're going to cast those and try to get those packages and stuff out this week, and then we'll be showing you guys some more stuff on the Counterblast thing next. So let's see, what do we got coming up? Let's see. Okay, yeah. So Vicky was working this week on the Counterblast for Savage Worlds, right? So there's a bunch of unique setting rules and stuff that you've been working up, and so we'll talk about that. If you guys don't know about it, I know some of our regulars know that we're working on putting out a source book for setting for the Savage Worlds role-playing game, and we'll be running a Kickstarter for that. The schedule is, hopefully later this year. If as soon as
we'll see how that goes.
We'll see how that goes. But if we can get done with this other stuff, then that's gonna.
Then we can kind of get back on some of that.
Right. So we're looking forward to getting more work done on that.
Yep.
Okay, so if you want to tell them about what kind of cool stuff you've come up with.
I don't know how. I know Brandon and Dave are familiar with Savage Worlds. I don't know how familiar any of the rest of you are with that game system, but it's really it's been a lot of fun to kind of tinker around and do conversions to put, how would the stuff in Counterblast mechanically work in Savage Worlds rule system. And here's a couple of things. Here's a few things for specifically done that I did for Counterblast that that I thought y'all might be interested in. And one is, first, like in Savage Worlds, they have a thing, and other systems may do this as well, but they have a thing called aces. And like when you roll your trait dice, they can ace, which means like if you have a D8 and you get an 8 on a D8, then you get to roll that die again and add that to whatever total you're rolling for. For Counterblast, some of the stuff that we were converting over from the 2.0 system, there's a thing where you can, we're calling it Ultra Ace, because it means that whatever the die is, you get to roll it again on the next highest number as well. So, for example, and y'all can read along with me here or whatever, but like, on a D8, it'd be a 7 or 8. D10, it'd be a 9 or 10, so on and so forth. Now, one thing that it's like people would be like, oh, wait a minute, so if you had a D4, it's like, yeah, I get it, but the thing is these the ability to Ultra Ace is only granted through edges, and there's a whole bunch of different edges, and I've got an example on here that we'll get to in just a second. But the requirement, the minimum requirement, is that you have a D8 in something. So that hopefully will alleviate that problem. Now, when we're doing beta testing, if a D8's too low, we may up that requirement to a D10, but we'll see how a D8 will work for now. But anyway, Ultra Aces can only happen with trait die. They can't happen with wild die, obviously, because wild die in Savage Worlds, those of you that aren't familiar with that system, PCs, when you roll like your trait or skill, it's like, you know, shooting, fighting, notice, all that kind of good stuff. As a PC, you also get to roll what they call a wild die, and that's a D6. I think it's always a D6. So
yeah, it is.
By its very nature, being a D6, it's disqualified from ultra acing. But your trait die will be able to. And then yeah, so we covered all that. And the example I put on here was, we've called it Deadeye. And basic requirements, you're novice level and you have athletics D8 or higher. So, because in Savage Worlds, when you're using throwing weapons, if you're throwing a knife, a shuriken, an axe, a piece of, you know, a paper airplane, you know, you want to, you know, poke somebody in the eye with a paper airplane. Okay. They're blinded for 3 rounds or something.
No, it gives them the dead eye. It's what.
Yeah, there you go. So you use your athletics ability to do that. So that's why it goes to athletics. But anyway, so if you use your points when you're building your character, or use your advance to get this edge, then you can Ultra Ace on your athletics die when you're throwing a weapon. So it's not just, hey, I'm going to use athletics to climb a tree, I'm going to Ultra Ace. It's like, no, it's just for throwing weapons.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, other things that are put on here to kind of talk about is, like with creatures in Savage Worlds or NPCs, they list special abilities. And if you're a PC, depending on your species, you may also have special abilities granted to you by the nature of whatever you are. But I've got a couple of things that I've come up with for Counterblast that I just thought would be kind of fun. Plus, I mean, it kind of goes along with a couple of things. One of them is dependable, and this applies to items, you know, equipment, weapons, ships,
robots?
Vehicles, robots, could be robots.
Okay.
And it's something that we'll have to look at, like if you're purchasing gear, it could be like, you know, for an additional upcharge, you know, your 97 RZ pulsar rifle is dependable.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, or something. Or it could be something that GMs use, like, hey, you traded for this spaceship, and the spaceship you got was a dependable spaceship.
Mm-hmm.
But it just means that it's less prone to breaking down and everything. So when it does break down, it's not as hard to fix. So repair rolls for these items get a +2 bonus, and in addition, if you the first critical failure per session, hopefully you won't have any, but if you do, the first critical failure per session can be ignored. And just so you know, critical failures happen when you roll a trait die for something, and your trait die and your wild die both come up 1. So that's a critical failure in Savage Worlds. But the other thing is exceptional specimen, and this has to do with living things. So it could be creatures, beasts. I guess it could even be people too. But they're a remarkable example of their species, and all their base attribute die are increased by 1. So that would be kind of fun. Because, like, if you're a GDF Ranger and you have a trusty Alani Seahound or Snarlox or Space Chimp or whatever, you might have an exceptional specimen, and they're a little bit tougher and smarter and all that good stuff. So, anyway.
Yeah, so Brandon mentioned on the chat, he said that would be something that would be great for creatures or NPCs.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah. And so, so those are just a few of the many things that we've kind of come up with that will be included as rules in Counterblast. So, and hopefully they'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, it sounds like it. I mean, I'm looking forward to giving it a go, and we're kind of putting this stuff together because we have a couple of sessions that we've scheduled coming up at North Texas RPG Con. So if you guys are in the North Texas area and the first weekend of June, come on by the con and say hi and see us. We're going to have a selection of our miniatures and stuff there. And Vicky's going to be running a couple of sessions of, kind of test run what we've gotten put together so far for the Counterblast game. So over the next few weeks, we may be spotlighting some more creatures and, character things with, some of their backgrounds talking about some of the other stuff that we're developing for the game. And our chat shows in the morning, on Saturday morning serial, are ideal for that because we can kind of talk about our concepts and ideas and stuff about what we were thinking about in putting, those ideas together, whether they're concepts for alien creatures, or they're going to be non-player characters, or just something to fill out the setting, or like with this, if they're like cool setting rules. And I know we had talked about Moxie and how we're going to kind of put Moxie into the game because
we'll probably give them a little sneak peek at that later on.
Right. And we talked about that a little bit before, but in the Counterblast tabletop adventure battle game that we put out, that's kind of a function, that's unique to that set, that's unique to the game. It creates a really cool function to how it works. And then so we kicked around the idea, and Vicky came up with some really great ideas for how to incorporate Moxie into making it a setting rule for Savage Worlds. So, and it sounds really cool. So we'll probably talk a little bit about that, at some point too. So anyway, so that sounds cool. I think that's great. Thanks for putting all that stuff together to kind of show us this morning.
No problem.
Yep. So let's see what's going on here. So yeah, okay. So that's what Brandon had said. There's exceptional characters and so forth. So we'll take a look and see what's coming up. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's the next thing we wanted to kind of talk about was Ur'Zarl. So yeah, I've done a little bit of sculpting over the last couple of weeks. I don't know how long I've been working on this guy, but it seems like it's like 3 weeks now or so because I had started him off.
Wow.
Yeah, and so I posted this the other day, and of course I gave him the quote from Zorg from the Fifth Element because he's a black market guy, right? Because you were talking about like a little bit about his background and and okay, so and he's going to be a special character in the book, right? Or like a NPC.
Yeah, he's a special character NPC.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well that's pretty cool. Let me show you guys. This is what I got done on him. Okay, so I think in the last time that we looked at Ur'Zarl, he was just kind of like an A pose, and then I had to go and kind of tweak the proportions and stuff on him a little bit. But I got him wrapped up, and I got his tail done right. So, so this is the finished sculpt. and Vicky signed off on that, so it's like she's happy with how that came out. So he's got some little braids. He's got some cool little traditional Shrenar, bead work and stuff that he's wearing and all that. So it gives him a little bit of a tribal kind of a feel, but he's still, 100%, sci-fi, in that regard. There are some feral Shrenar characters that we have in the game setting, but
those will be revealed later.
Yes, to be revealed at a future point. So, yes, the tail. James was asking if the tail was integrated to the figure. Yeah, he's gonna be all one piece. How I've got it parted out. Actually, I can kind of show you that. So, so this is the print that we have.
I lost my chat.
Huh?
I lost my chat. But go ahead.
Oh, okay. So that's just the body. So I had to part out the arm with the sword, the hand with the sword rather, and the hand with the
pistol.
With the pistol, because of the way that it crosses, across his torso and so forth. It creates a gap, and I didn't want to put it up against his body, and do that, so that it would be all one piece. So I can just sprue those two items together, and we've still got to print those. So this was printed out on our Frozen Sonic Mini 4K printer, and the prints are super clean. I'm very impressed with the work that we've been able to get out of this little desktop printer. So it's pretty nice. And then we printed like a bunch of them. And so ordinarily this would be, since he's a new character and a new release, we would normally produce that here in resin. However, I think it was last week, I think it's been a week or so, that I've been talking with Nick Hanger over at Metal Oak Castings, and he wanted to know if we were interested in trying out their Ceocast thermoplastic system. So I printed out some extra masters of this so that we could send those, clean them up and send those over to him. And I think he said that he's supposed to be getting his new casting system in May, sometime here in the next few weeks or whatever. I think it's already been shipped from Spain, but I'm not sure. I don't have all the details on that. But anyway, we were going to clean up these parts and send them over to him so that he could run, kind of a test on it, and we can get an idea of what that's going to be like. And if that works out, then the miniatures that we're going to be producing for the Counterblast Kickstarter project are going to kind of go to that thermoplastic process, because that way we would be able to manufacture a larger quantity of those through that system than we would be able to run here in our drop molds that we have. And so and it would also be less expensive for us than having them produced in metal, because of the metal prices and everything. So I'm pretty excited about seeing how this is going to turn out with him, with this particular character. So let's see. The next thing that we had coming up was Jessica Blaze. Okay, and I'm going to give you guys some background on Jessica Blaze a little bit. Not necessarily as an NPC, because I think, do you remember seeing her background in the book? Did we include her in the Counterblast book before?
I can't remember. I know there's a picture of her in the book.
Yeah.
But I don't know if there was actually a write-up on her. There's been a write-up on Melody.
Yeah, okay. Because she's got a sister, Melody Blaze, that we have over in the Babes line. Okay. But this was a sketch that I originally did for this character in 2006, when we were kind of developing when I was developing the initial concepts for Counterblast back in the day. And so I kind of had these ideas. It's like, oh, well, I'd like to sculpt some sci-fi stuff at some point, and create a tabletop game and do all of that stuff. So I've kind of had that idea cooking for a long time. But then I eventually got around to sculpting that stuff, and I want to say it was around 2008, 2009 or so. but I had done an initial sculpt of her in green putty, in green stuff. And I had a little collection of these counterblast prototypes. So there was a couple of like what eventually became the Neiran, which we kind of upscaled. And there was Illyrian guys, and there was like the Illyrian Scout, and then there was a couple of other pieces. And all of those I wound up selling off to Reaper because I needed the cash. So they were buying, sculpts from freelance sculptors, and so I was able to sell those so that they could, put them into production. So that's where this sculpt came from. So if you go over to the Reaper website right now, you can get the initial version, the original version of the Jessica Blaze figure, and so here's a picture of what she looks like in the Chronoscope line. But then when we did the second edition of our Counterblast tabletop game, I kind of wanted to redesign her a little bit and kind of show, well, she's kind of gone through some stuff, being out there in the outer reaches as a freelance. I don't even think that she's a recovery agent. I mean, I have to go back and kind of check what notes we have on her background, if there's anything. But she's kind of an underhanded character and would fit right in with Ur'Zarl as, doing underhanded things. So she may be a hero character NPC, or she may be an adversary character NPC. We haven't really kind of decided that yet. But I painted this for the interior art of our second edition Counterblast book. And I kind of updated her companion robot a little bit. But this is kind of the direction that I'm going. She'll have a combination of costuming similar to the original sketch of, what she has and what you kind of see here. So I'm going to kind of combine some elements of that and make an updated character or an updated sculpt of this particular character. And since we were doing the Kickstarter project with the rocket ship kit, one of the add-ons actually that you saw earlier in the episode was the Gentbot set with the modular robots. Well, since I had already done all those to put that set out, I figured, well, I'll go ahead and make the extra parts and we'll print them and go ahead and put those out since I'm going to be sculpting this character for the new game. So I went ahead and updated the Lucifer Gentbot with the twin particle multi-blasters that he's got and his little turbo thrusters and stuff. Okay, wow. So he's a total custom bot that she's done a little bit of work on and kind of upgraded in order to beef up the security of whatever it is that they do. So I went ahead and sculpted the extra parts for him, and then we went ahead and printed those out. So I've got his tail thrusters done. Actually, everything for Lucifer is done at this point, as far as the parts go. So we've got the prints done with his multi-blasters and the tail sections, but those need to be cleaned up and put on mold, and then we'll go ahead and start running castings of that to get that part of him done. But I'm still working on the sculpt for Jessica Blaze herself. So I've got a little bit of that blocked out, and I think probably I'll have some of it done this coming week. And I'll probably show you guys some pictures, may post those over on Instagram or on our Facebook page or something like that. So you guys can look out, for it this week, but we'll probably be, running some screenshots of it in the episode next week. So that's coming along a little bit. Got some more work to do on her. But the next thing that I've got coming up is Vicky had asked me to make a Neiran Ambassador character for the Savage Worlds.
The little beta test demo games.
Right, the gaming events. Yeah. So the scenario that she's written, it includes an NPC character in it that's Neiran Ambassador. And just to give you an idea, I'm going to switch over to, I'm going to pop it over to ZBrush so that you guys can check out the actual the actual sculpt, and we'll kind of show him around a little bit. But this is what he looks like so far, and I've just got the basic pose blocked out. There's still some details that I need to add on him. You can kind of see he's got this cool oval-shaped data pad, and I kind of wanted to do something different than like what you would see on Star Trek or something like that. It's like the Neiran have lots of organic shapes and stuff to them, and have some very Baroque styling in a lot of their things. So I kind of thought, well, that would be cool if their data pads and some of that stuff had like an oval kind of shape to it, and it looks a little bit more organic. So he's got that, and he's got a little sidearm, so he's got the regular Neiran pistol and stuff. But Neiran males are the ones that are, they do all of the administrative stuff and handle all the stuff behind the scenes and do the negotiations and whatnot, because the Neiran females just can't be bothered with that type of thing. I mean, they've got an empire to
we have fights to fight.
They have fights to fight and keep things going. So all of that kind of clerical stuff is usually relegated to the males who are more suited to that kind of thing. So what I've got a little bit left to do, and I've got his tunic detailed out. I've got some details and stuff I'll probably put on his little shoulder pads. And then the hair and stuff, it still needs to be detailed, and I'll do that after he's posed. But then I want to go back and put some ornamentation and some decorative stuff on his hat and his headdress and stuff, so that it'll set that apart. So right now these are just placeholder shapes until I can go in and put the details and stuff in that. So, but that's what I've got done on him so far. So, and actually this is not the first Neiran male sculpt that I did, because like I said, I had sold a few prototypes. To Reaper, you can find they have an Andromedan vizier, which looks like a little alien wizard guy, and that's kind of the precursor to this. So, so that was, I think, the first male Neiran that I sculpted, and then I did another one in putty that was that we put out.
The Neiran Exile.
The Neiran Exile character, yeah. And he's got like tactical armor and stuff on, and I think he's got an auto pulsar or something like that.
Yeah, he ran away.
Yeah,
he ran away from the Neirans.
Yep, and the Ur'Zarl are after him.
Well, who knows?
Could be.
Could be.
Yeah. So some of those guys may show up in the book too. So because we have lots
that's one of the player character races. You can play a Neiran Exile.
Oh, that's as a player character.
As a PC, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely.
Well, then I'll probably wind up putting out some of the some more male or female Neiran, right?
Yeah.
That are equipped differently, that you could use as player character models. So,
yep.
So that'll definitely be in the works, on that. So, but anyway, I'll get him posed up and get the rest of the details and stuff done on this guy, and then show you, what I've got done on that. Then there's one other character, and I haven't even started on this yet because I'm still kind of working on. I'm still kind of working on how I want to do this, because we already have art for. I think her name is
Zari.
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 Yeah. So let me see. I think I can actually show you guys that. I'm going to hide that, and let's look at. Go to Counterblast. Here we go. Start. Let's see. Oh, that art's going to be in here. Yeah. Okay, and I think I showed you guys this art for Zari that we had before.
Yeah.
Okay, so so she's going to be our little Alani technician, and I kind of wanted to save this and put this character out for the Kickstarter thing, but since Vicky was looking for an Alani technician for her game sessions at the convention, I'll probably go ahead and sculpt her like you see in the art here, and she may have a different pose. I haven't decided yet, but I'll start blocking the character out, and then we're gonna, we'll print these out and paint them up so that we'll have those figures, for the game sessions. But then we'll be releasing those, as new releases. As soon as we can get them cast up.
Yeah, shortly
So
thereafter.
I don't know how long it's going to take to get Ur'Zarl done in production, because we're outsourcing that to Nick to run those. So I'm not sure how long that'll take. But anyway, so she's fun, and I'm looking forward to getting started on that one. So we'll pop back over here and see what you guys are talking about. Hey, Brandon said that looks like a sci-fi tambourine, the data pad. So
Sci-fi tambourine.
yeah.
It needs some little symbols or something on it.
Well, I put some little control, like little jewel control things on it, but I kind of want to put something around the edge that looks like ports or something where you can connect it to download or upload or whatever and all that. So let's see.
See, I can't see it.
Oh, you can't see that?
No, I lost mine.
Well, it looks like that Tony's popped in.
Oh, cool.
Tony is from the Twisted Lords Con,
Oh, okay.
that works with John to put that show on. And I kind of wanted to talk about that too, because I'm supposed to be sculpting a character for Gates of Antares for them for their convention.
Oh, wow.
That's coming up in the middle of July, and so he was asking if you were going to be coming to TLC to run demos for that.
Oh.
And my initial answer right now would be probably not, because you would be staying to keep an eye on the cats, because we have limited amount of cat sitters that we can burn through on that. Mm-hmm. But my plan right now is to come up there and run demos of the Counterblast tabletop game. So our
2.0.
tabletop battle, the 2.0, yeah. So I'll be bringing stuff, to run that, and then I'll probably have a little stack of books and so forth. So Sonic Attack with Cone template. And I guess that's referring to the new Sonic blasters that is Zari going to have that?
Sonic weaponry. What are they? Is somebody asking about the Sonic weaponry?
Yeah, Brandon was asking about that.
What is Sonic weaponry will do.
You'll have to talk into your mic.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Sonic weaponry. I'm sorry, y'all. I can't. I lost my chat capability over here. I don't know why.
Well, while you're talking about that,
But so I can't see what everybody's saying or asking.
It's
so
okay. Go do what you're doing.
anyway, but the Sonic thing, Alani have Sonic weaponry that they developed. It work with. It doesn't work in vacuums, so you won't see them on spaceships.
Well, you can put them on spaceships because they would work in atmosphere.
Well, yeah. I mean, you can have them on spaceships maybe as like an alternate weapon or something, because Alani spacecraft are generally atmospheric and amphibian. And the Sonic weaponry works underwater. But what it does is it has knockback and knockdown capability. So it not only damages whatever it strikes, but it will push it back or possibly knock it prone. So depending. So that's like depending what raises you get when you make rolls. So but that's what Sonic Weapon does.
Mm-hmm. And it's specifically an Alani weapon, so the Alani, you're going to find and I'll probably be equipping our Alani miniatures with sonic weapons mostly, but they're probably going to have some other stuff just to give a little bit of variety and everything.
Yeah, and other people can have Alani weaponry too.
So well, sure, because it's all cross pollinated.
Yeah, because they're all they sell it to other people. So,
and it's looking like we got about 10 minutes or so to go on the show. Was there anything else that you wanted to cover, or did I miss anything that we wanted to talk about? Or
I can't think of anything.
Okay. What about you guys? I don't know if out there in streaming land, if you've got any stuff you wanted to ask us about the stuff that we've talked about on the show, or like what we've got coming up, or what we're doing next that we haven't covered, or anything like that. Pop that up in the chat too, and we'll see if we can go over that. But,
one thing I did. One thing I can't remember if we mentioned this last time or what, but we did purchase our vendor space at ReaperCon.
Yeah.
For ReaperCon later this year.
We've got 3 spaces at ReaperCon this year.
Yeah, we got 3 spaces because we're hoping to be able to have some beta game events there, but we're trying to learn how you submit those because we've never done that before, so we're kind of unsure who to contact and how to go about doing that. But in the event that doesn't happen, we kind of got 3 spaces because that way we'll have some extra space in case people want to come by and do some demo gaming while the vendor hall's open. So we can possibly run that or run some 2.0 tabletop stuff if people want.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, because we'll have all that stuff with us. And I talked to Frank a little bit about if he'd be interested in coming up and running some of the tabletop battle demos. That's not a definite thing yet, so we're still kind of working out how that would work. Yeah, if we could get on the schedule for running a couple of sessions, at least 1 or 2 of the Savage Worlds game, I'd like to see if we could be able to do that. I did send a message over to Joseph Wolf, who runs a lot of the Reaper D&D games and so forth there, and he said that he didn't have any contact point on that, but I could check with Ron and see if I could get some info from him. So I'll still need to see if I can check with Ron. Speaking of Ron and ReaperCon, I have a sculpt that I'm supposed to be doing for Reaper for this year's ReaperCon, and that's kind of under wraps. I got some art from Ron earlier in the year, and we kind of talked about it, and since I think this will be the first thing that I've sculpted for them in 10 years. So, and this is going to be our 10-year anniversary for Bombshell Miniatures coming up in October. So we'll probably be over the next few months sprinkling some stuff out to the internet about what our 10-year anniversary is going to look like and some of the offers that we're going to put out. And I think we're doing an anniversary miniature.
I hope so.
Or 2 or more, depending on what we can fit in. So, and if you guys have, some ideas about some things or whatever, post those over in the Facebook group or, post questions and stuff over there and all that. We would appreciate that because we love hearing from you guys. And post pictures of miniatures, like whatever you guys are working on hobby-wise. I guess I need to go out to the Facebook group and post a general Shrenar 75mm. Okay, Brandon posted something about a Shrenar 75mm.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's, I'm right there with you, Brandon. I got your back, bud. So, Rania.
No, it's, let's see. Hang on. Let me see if I got it.
Yeah, Rania. Captain Rania.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll show you guys a sneak peek of that, and you probably and you can see it in the book because this is a full page piece of art in the
2.0 book,
in the Counterblast book that we have now. So this is Captain Rania, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
Captain
Okay, she's a Lancer captain.
Yep. Merchant captain.
Yeah, so this is a piece of art that we had done for the book, and so this will be a regular tabletop size miniature, and we'll probably do a 75mm miniature of this and a bust. So I like to do a 1/10
Yeah,
scale
we also
bust.
want to do a bust of her too. So.
Right. So
Really nice.
Yeah.
I
So
think, yes.
we'll be working on that, and the goal is to have all of those ready for ReaperCon.
Yeah.
So you guys can snag those there. So I'm pretty excited about that because we've had the art for a while now, and I've been wanting to work on this, but I think I'll be able to get it to the at least to do justice to the art. Is what I want to do because it's a really nice design, I like how she turned out. So
Yep.
So we'll be doing that. So there's a little sneak peek of that's coming up. So that will definitely be in the works. Yeah, pot pie.
Yeah, there's some
yes.
pot pie in the future.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a whole inside story or whatever. And if you corner me at ReaperCon and ask me about pot pie, I'll tell you that story. But that's funny. And I might have to go back to.
Yeah, we'll have to go to Cheddar's.
Cheddar's and do that again.
Yeah.
If they have it. But,
Definitely go to Cheddar's and see if we can manage to get some.
Because I haven't yet. Haven't been able to get any pot pie there yet.
Maybe
so
this is the year.
This will be the year.
Maybe this is the year.
Yeah.
You can get pot pie when we go to Cheddar's.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
So, okay. You still say that when something is awesome. Yeah.
Pot pie. I love it.
Right.
That's awesome.
Right.
That's pot pie.
Okay, well, I guess we're going to start winding down because we got like a few minutes before 10, and we talked about ReaperCon and stuff, and some of the other things, and our anniversary thing that's coming up. So, I guess I can't think of anything that anything else that we've got that we haven't gone over this week. So, next week we'll probably be talking some more, a little bit about the counterblast rules. I think that's fun. I hope you guys enjoy kind of looking at how some of that stuff is coming along and getting a glimpse in kind of the behind the scenes of like, well, this is what we're thinking about that stuff, and getting an inside view of that. And then I'll be showing you guys some more sculpts and stuff next week. And also, we're still working on doing a workbench show, on the workbench where we'll actually be doing hobby stuff, while we're chatting and everything. And also still in development is the Discord where we can pipe in some audio and stuff from Discord.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, so I've still got some R&D to do on that stuff and some testing, but hopefully we can get that up and running, and then we'll do another show. So. James was like, "Man, you covered a heck of a lot of stuff today," and it was like, "Yeah." Before we started the show today, I was telling Vicky I was looking through the list on the slideshow. I was like, "Holy cow! Look at all this stuff that we've got." Because as we're working on this stuff during the week, it's like, oh, we do a little bit here, we do a little bit there, cast a little bit, mold a little bit.
It adds up.
Clean a little bit of stuff, and you kind of think, well, it's like, well, did I get anything done because there's just so much stuff spread out? But then when you kind of compile it for the show, on the weekend, or I look through, it's like, oh, I could show them this and I could show them that, and it was just like, yeah, this one just whizzed by, yeah.
Yep.
So
like, that was the week.
Yeah. So anyway, but we appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with us, and
thanks for coming and hanging out.
Yeah, we love seeing you in the chat, and we love being able to talk to you guys and tell you about what's going on. Here at the bomb shop and the bombshell factory and all of that. So it's a big charge for us to get to show you guys this stuff.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all joining us. It helps us not feel so isolated.
Right. Yeah, so big hugs to you, Brandon, and everybody else.
Yeah, and everybody else.
Right.
Yep.
So we're going to wrap up
much.
and let you guys get back to your Saturday. So do some hobbying, do some painting, clean some minis, put some stuff together.
Get out there and have some fun.
Absolutely. Take a little bit of time. And we will see you guys next Saturday morning for another episode of Saturday Morning Serial. So join us over on Twitch, or if you've missed this episode or you got in late, pop on over to YouTube and put in Bombshell Minis and catch up on the episodes there. So thanks again for hanging out, and we will see you guys next week.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.